Welcome back. So in the previous section, we integrated our SQLAlchemy to our Flask application. So now it's really high time to consume those database into our resources. So in this section, let's use our database to insert. So when we create a product or when we create a shop, let's use the SQLAlchemy to insert our records to the database. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with creating a record in our database. So to do that, let's start with our product. Okay, so let's go to our resources and let's go to our product, and then let's go to our product where we were creating it, basically in this post. Okay, what we can do now is we can simply say, so let's say product will equal to, before that let's import our product model. So we'll say from models import product model. Okay, now our product will be equal to a product model, and it will take all our new product, all the items of our new product, basically all the key values, all the so we are destructuring it and we are passing this, right? So we learned about star arcs and star arcs, right, in the previous section. So we're using the same concept. So now creating a record is very simple now. So we can simply remove all of this, and now let's use try except, because an SQLAlchemy can throw an exception. Okay, so let me say pass for now, and let me add an exception block. And here we need to import our SQLAlchemy error. So before that, we need to import this SQLAlchemy error. So let's do that. So we can say from alchemy.exec, we need to import our SQLAlchemy error. Okay. So in that case, we'll say about we are having some issue with our SQLAlchemy, basically. So in that case, we'll say internal server error, basically 500. So when we say 500, it's an internal server error, and we can pass a message. We can say an error occurred while inserting the product. We'll try to insert a product here. So let's remove this pass. So since we have imported our DB, so from DB import, so because we don't really have products, so it will be basically a DB. So we can simply say db dot, if we want to access our database, so now we can access by using this session, db dot session. And if we want to create a product, so we can say dot add. So basically add means creating an entry in our database. So now we can say product, and now we are just creating this product, or we're just creating a new record. Okay, so now what we can say is we need to commit the session so that our SQLAlchemy will be able to go and execute dot queries. So at this point, we are just creating the query, and now we need to run the query, right? So that will be basically db.session.commit. Okay. So when we commit this session, so at that point, we may encounter an error. An exception may occur at that time. So at that time, if any such exception occurs, we are throwing this SQLAlchemy error. Okay. So let's quickly copy whatever we have done here. So let's go to our shop.py. And it may throw this exception. Let's go to our SQLAlchemy. Okay, and let's go to our post. So now we can say shop is equal to, and let's import our shop model. From models import shop model, and basically we can say shop model, and we can pass all the shop data, right? And let's remove everything. Let me go back to my product, and let me copy this try except block, and let me edit here. And now, so I need the DB sessions, right? So let me remove these shops, and I can say DB, and I can say now instead of product, I will be adding shop. And if any error occur while committing this, so we can say an error occurred while inserting the shop. Okay. So if you check our shop schema, now this product is only a dump only. When we use dump only, it will not look for this in our model. It will not go and validate those. We need the dump only. We need those products only while getting the shop. Okay. So now we can see that we have multiple errors, shops and all. And in the product section, we have this products. We have multiple error. So we'll fix this in the next section. Okay. And I forgot to add one more thing here. So if we check our shop model, let's go to our shop model, and we say that the name of the shop should be unique, right? So if we try to insert a shop with the same name, so in that case, it may throw another exception, which is called integrity exception. Okay. So in that case, we'll have to add another exception for our SQLAlchemy, which is called an integrity exception. Okay. So let's accept those error also we can say except integrity error. So in that case, it's basically a validation error, right? So you can say abort. So a validation error basically means 400, and you can say shop with that name already exist. Cool, right? So when can this integrity error occur? So if we check our shop model, we have this name which is supposed to be unique, and then when the user try to enter a name that already exists, so in that case our SQLAlchemy will throw this exception, integrity error exception. And when we get the integrity exception, so at that time we are saying validation error and a shop with that name already exists. Okay, so far what we have done is we have updated our product create endpoint, post endpoint, and now we have used our product model, we've created an instance, and using our DB session, we have created an entry of product and then execute our query. So if any error occurs on executing the query, SQLAlchemy will throw this exception when we are handling the exception by saying an error occurred while inserting the product, right? And also in the shop, in the create shop like post, so basically we are creating a new record of shop, and if any error occurs while creating the shop, so we may have multiple errors. So one could be an integrity error, basically when we try to insert a duplicate name, like for example there was shop already of Labim and we try to insert the Labim again. So in that case it will throw an validation error. Otherwise there can be a SQLAlchemy error. So in that case we are throwing a 500, which is a internal server error. Okay, so in the next session, we'll learn how to fetch all the shops and products using our database. So see you there.